Joining me on this broadcast now is Nikhil Jain, political consultant and advocate. We also have Surabhi Hridikeri, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Thank you both for your time. Nikhil, I'd like to begin with you because what we're seeing essentially is, power games non-stop, a merry-go-round, if you will, in Karnataka. What's stopping the High Command, Nikhil, from taking a call? But let me start with who's the High Command for the Congress?
Akshada, I think the High Command in the Congress is a collective decision-making body that consists of the chairperson of the parliamentary board and former president of the party, Sonia Gandhi, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, and the former president, Rahul Gandhi. Also, the president of the party currently and the leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, the general secretary organization, K.C. Venugopal, and the general secretary in charge for the concerned state, which in this case would be Randeep Surjewala.
Okay.
Because I've grown up understanding that High Command in the Congress party is a collective body that represents the national leadership. And it's not a one-man show or a two-man show like in the BJP where it's just Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. So I
Sure.
feel it's a collective body. There will be consultations, and they would decide how to
Fair enough. But the
go forward with
challenge is,
this.
Nikhil, where's the consultation? How many days has this been going on for? A week plus? It's been at least a week now of non-stop comments coming in, all of this bickering, very public statements. So then why isn't the High Command then getting together and discussing what needs to be done? Where's the prompt decision?
Akshada, I'm sure that the High Command and the leadership of the party are discussing between themselves, but these are not things that would be, put out in the media. And we have the two primary contenders for the post, the supposed primary contenders, D.K. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. Both have come out and said that it is for the High Command to decide, and
They're
this is
putting
not
out
for us to
everything
be
in the
speaking
media, by
about.
the way.
No, they may be talking about the fact that there are certainly MLAs from either camps, and in fact, multiple camps, more camps than the two themselves, who want their leader to be the chief minister of the state, and that's perfectly fine in a democratic party and a democratic setup. One of my very close friends from Karnataka wants Priyank Kharge to be the chief minister. I'm sure there are many who wants B.K. Hari Prasad. There is somebody who might want Satish Arkeoli. Somebody might want Dinesh Kundu Rao.
But that's why
Somebody
it's
might want
imperative.
Siddaramaiah.
But that's the point, Nikhil. That's why it's imperative for the High Command to take a pick and say, look, he is the one. There's no question of anyone else coming in to be the chief minister. You can want who you want. But we have taken our pick and this is it. And they've not come out with that decision. Let me also bring in Surabhi right now. I'll bring in
Just 10
Surabhi, Nikhil,
seconds.
before I give you a chance to respond. Surabhi, go ahead. What do you make of what's happening in Karnataka right now? Look, the Congress says there's a high command. They will take a decision. Ultimately, when you look at it, you still have a chief minister. Siddaramaiah isn't going anywhere.
The casual attitude with which Nikhil very respectfully explained the situation was like, it's just another conversation. It's just something that's happening, nothing for us to break our heads about. Ever since this government came to power, 2.5 years, this has been like an OTT serial that's been going on and on and on, taking up media attention, public time, and worst of all, government ministers' mind space. It has taken people away from governance, from pressing issues of governance, and made it into, the Congress party as well as this Congress government's main role has been curtailing factionalism. Factionalism that has gotten so bad that an RCB stampede happened and people lost their lives because the CM and DCM could not communicate with each other. A factionalism that has led to unfair fund release for across Karnataka, especially accentuating the differences between North Karnataka and South Karnataka. Governance failure that has led to many infrastructure projects being stopped or halted. This is the result of factionalism. This 2.5 years, November Kranti,
Nikhil,
that's
yeah.
all we've been speaking about for the last 2.5 years.
Nikhil,
So this is
ultimately,
not some small decision. This is not something that we are just, please, I request you, think about Kannadigas, the Bengalurians, the Karnataka people who have been having to deal with this lack of decisiveness within the Congress.
ultimately, from what Surabhi is saying, Nikhil, this isn't a good look. It's not a good look for the Karnataka Congress. It's not a good look for the government. It looks like, they've got priorities elsewhere. Governance is not the top priority because they're busy figuring out, who should be the chief minister.
Akshada, so my friend from the BJP pointed out that I presented the facts in a manner as if nothing to do much about it, and I was being very nonchalant about it. I indeed was being nonchalant about it, and the simple reason for that is that whatever infighting or not, whatever campbazi or not is happening in Karnataka, the governance is on point. The government has announced a new IT city to be developed on the outskirts of Bengaluru. Over 115 MOUs have been signed in the past 2 years, bringing in, or at least bringing in, a promise of over 6.5 lakh crore worth of investments. The Gruha Jyothi scheme has been implemented. Women are being given free bus rides. A whole number of measures are being taken by the government towards social and welfare, as well as development and infrastructure. And that is what a government should be focusing on. The politicians can keep on fighting about whatever kursi they want, but the government should run. And in the case of Karnataka, that is running fabulously. And since I have the
So,
pleasure of sharing the panel with somebody from the BJP, might I just ask her, what
sure.
is the environment minister of the country doing right now when I am living in a gas chamber in Delhi, and Akshita as well? What is the education minister of the country doing right now when there are so many paper leaks happening in the country?
May I
Oh,
please come
they've
in?
been
I'd
to
like to
Bihar for
respond to
2
that.
months.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
What happened with governance there?
I
Okay,
appreciate
okay. Surabhi, just taking forward what Nikhil's saying, give us examples. You say, there's misgovernance. Give us examples of it. Why do you say that?
I appreciate pushing the conversation from Karnataka to Delhi. That's exactly what the Congress has also been trying to deciding this chief minister of Karnataka, not in Karnataka but in Delhi. But the conversation today is about Karnataka. It's about Bengaluru. It's about North Karnataka. It's about Uttar Karnataka. All of these different regions. It is not me, Akshita. It is the Congress MLAs who have come out and said that we have not been given development funds. It is the Congress MLAs who are accusing the housing minister of having corruption in his own department. It is the chief minister's economic advisor who said there is a 400 crore sand mining scam. It is the economic advisor of the chief minister who said that the finance of the state is falling apart. It's not me. It's not the BJP. The fact that daylight robbery of 7.5 crore happened in Bengaluru just a few days ago, a dacoit incident happened in the middle of Bengaluru, and the minister in charge is nowhere to be seen. He is meeting Naga sadhus, meeting people in order to get his CM chair confirmed. This is what the public is saying. This is not what the BJP is saying.
Okay.
Look, as an opposition party, it matters very less to me who's going to be the chief minister from the Congress party. All we ask is that make up your mind, decide. Have you decided on a 2.5 years, 2.5 years?
Nikhil's final
Let us
response.
know what it is. Let us know who the chief minister is going to be for the next 5 years. Let's put an end to this. Go on with our work. We're
Nikhil,
very happy
final
to do that.
response. Final response. Why can't the High Command pick one leader? What is the challenge?
I really don't understand that. Is should be forgetting the fact that Karnataka already has a chief minister. It's not like the state is without a chief minister. Siddaramaiah is the chief minister. If indeed there be a change in the chief minister, you still have the entire government running. And I can give out a list of 10 different things that the government is doing, right? I will nowhere claim that there is no crime happening in Karnataka or no scam is happening in Karnataka. Of course there are, and they are being tackled. You mentioned about the RCB stampede, and do you remember what happened after that? Heads did roll. The commissioner was sacked. Multiple people were taken to task. An SIT was not an SIT, but a probe committee was set up, and all of those actions came into play. But what happened when a similar stampede happened in Uttar Pradesh? The government tried to suppress it. See, I will nowhere say that any government is running perfectly. The entire point is that is the government doing enough? Can they do a better job? And what I see in Karnataka is that the government is running fairly well enough. Of course, they can do a better job, but there's always scope for improvement everywhere.
If the
Let's talk
tables were
about
turned, if the tables were turned, Nikhil, and we were seeing this confusion play out in the BJP, I wonder if you would have been far more critical of what's happening.
On that note, can I, 10 seconds? On that note, 10 seconds.
And it's
10
very
second
easy
comment.
to say,
10 second
Nikhil,
10
comment.
seconds. I'll come to you.
Surabhi.
Let Surabhi finish. Yeah.
I'm making a very fair point, Nikhil. As an opposition party, I'm saying that, look, it is not my need for me to bother who becomes the chief minister from the Congress camp. But as a citizen of Karnataka, as a resident of Bengaluru, it is absolutely my problem to be stuck between this infighting and not have access to absolutely good governance. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I'm not going to be able
Okay,
to
Nikhil,
lead.
final 10
That is not
seconds,
something
Nikhil.
that's going to go.
And Surabhi, I'm glad that you have the space to voice your concern as a concerned citizen, and I'm sure you get a good decision. I will not call you an anti-national or anti-Hindu for saying D.K. Shivakumar was
Why does
meeting
this
Naga sadhus.
conversation have to go to
I'll
inane
tell you.
places?
No.
I don't
I'll
understand.
tell you why. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why.
Understand
I'll tell you why.
political-
Because this is exactly
Please,
what I hear from the
no.
BJP.
I
I'll
will
tell
do
you
it.
why.
Okay.
I will
I'm-
do
Surabhi,
it
I
with
was
graciousness
rejecting.
and not
Time out. I'm
political.
wrapping this up. I'm wrapping this up. You've heard from both sides here. Ultimately, look, Chief Minister at this point of Karnataka remains Siddaramaiah. But with this constant tussle, is it a good look for the Congress? Not really, because the High Command is yet to take a pick. Sure, it's not one person, as Nikhil says. Sure, it's a group of leaders, of veterans who've been a part of the Congress, and yet there's been no pick, really. Thanks, Nikhil. Thanks, Surabhi, for joining us here on this broadcast with your views of what's really playing out in Karnataka. I suspect that this is easily going to continue for the next few days as well. So we look forward to having you in our broadcasts going forward.